Kailash Satyarthi ji, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, has been at the forefront of the global movement to end child slavery and exploitative children labor since 1980. Mr. Satyarthi and the grassroots movement founded by him, Bachpan, Bachao, Aandolan, Save the Childhood movement, have liberated more than 84,000 children from exploitation and developed a successful model for their education and rehabilitation. With these words, please join me in welcoming Mr. Kailash Satyarthi ji.
India, I know, is a land of 100 problems. Many problems: corruption, poverty, all kind of dowry, gender discrimination, so many things. Many other countries do have these problems. India is the land of 100 problems, but my motherland is the mother of 1 billion solutions. Each Indian is a solution in herself or himself. Solutions are inside us. We have to dig them out. We have to do it systematically. We have to do it consciously to dig that potential, dig that solution out and use for the betterment of the whole world. It is not just about ourselves. When I was giving my acceptance speech, I said that I'm proud. I said, Janani Janma Bhumish Swargadapi Gariyasi. I remembered my mother and my motherland. And that's why, even before going to accept the prize, I wrote to India's president that I don't think that this great honor for this, the first Indian-born Indian's Peace Prize, is just for one person. It is the biggest honor, it is the biggest acknowledgement to the issue of the most deprived, most soundless, most faceless children in the world. But the honor is for all my Indian sisters and brothers. So when I met the President of India, Honorable Pranab Mukherjee ji, I gave him a letter also that I want to give away this award to my nation, to the people of my nation. And there was no precedent in the past. दुनिया में ऐसा पहले कभी हुआ नहीं कि कोई पागल आदमी ये कहे कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी सम्मानजनक चीज़, अकेला भारतीय जो मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ नोबेल प्राइज़ के साथ, वो अपने पास प्राइज़ नहीं रखूँगा और देश की जनता को दे दूँगा, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ. And one day, when I came back from from Oslo, I brought this medal and put it at Rajghat. महात्मा गांधी के चरणों में मैंने उसको रख दिया. Because Gandhi's name was there 6 times, as we read in the history. But the Nobel Peace Prize has not been conferred to him. So I thought that it's a great tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Though Gandhi has always, and will remain always millions of times powerful than any prize on this planet. Even then, my small humble tribute to Gandhiji. And just after that, I took it to the President's house and gave it to President of India. उनको दे दिया मैंने President of India को कि ये भारत की जनता के लिए मैं सौंपता हूँ, चाहे जो करो इसका. इससे पहले 1 महीना प्रेसिडेंट साहब को ये समझने में लगा कि क्या करें. प्रेसिडेंट तो भाई सभी को सब बड़े से बड़े पुरस्कार देते हैं, शपथ भी दिलाते हैं सब चीज़ों की, और उनको कोई ले जाके कोई चीज़ दे दे, ये तो उल्टा हो रहा है. लेकिन उनकी महानता है कि उन्होंने ये स्वीकार किया. एंड मैंने उनको एक देने के बाद एक कबीर दास जी का दोहा बोल दिया. मेरा मुझ में कछु नहीं, जो कछु है सब तोर, और तेरा तुझको सौंपते क्या लागत है मोर. सब भारत का, इसी धरती का है. मेरे कपड़े, मेरा खाना, मेरी चप्पल, मेरा दिमाग, मेरा दिल, सब भारत का. मेरे खून की एक बूंद यहीं हुई है. तो मैं उसको दे दिया भारत को. अब पैसा था कई करोड़ रुपया, जो पुरस्कार की राशि है, तो वो भी एक बड़ी समस्या थी. मैंने सोचा यार ये मेरे लिए है, मैंने तो इतने पैसे, सच कह रहा हूँ, मैंने कभी देखे नहीं. बैंक में काम करता हो तो नौकरी तो देख लेता, छू लेता, अपनी ज़िंदगी में इतने करोड़ रुपए नहीं देखे। तो मैंने कहा यार क्या करें, ये तो मेरे बच्चों के काम आ जाएंगे, मेरे पोता होने वाला था उसके काम आ जाएंगे, मेरी बेटी अस्मिता यहाँ बैठी है उसकी शादी हो रही थी, थोड़े बहुत उसमें खर्च हो जाएंगे। लेकिन मैंने कहा कि नहीं, दिस मनी, एवरी सिंगल penny of this award is for the cause of children who are most deprived on the earth. Not just for me, not just for my family, not for my organization, it will go for the cause of children in the world. वो पैसा अभी तक वहीं रखा था, ला ही नहीं हम वहाँ से। हमने उनसे हाथ जोड़ के कह दिया, उन्होंने भी कहा यार आप कैसे आदमी हो, कोई ने ऐसा नहीं किया कि पैसा छोड़ दिया हो दूसरों के लिए, तो आप अरबपति हो क्या हो। मैंने उनसे कहा हम अरबपतियों के बीच में बैठते उठते एक न एक दिन उनके दिल में ये बात आ जाएगी कि हमारे कॉज के लिए वो खुद जिम्मेवारी ले लेंगे। और राष्ट्रपति जी को भी मैंने ये बात कही कि मैं, इफ़ आई वॉज कीपिंग दिस मेडल विद मी ऑल द टाइम, एंड लेट मी टेल यू, राष्ट्रपति जी हिमसेल्फ टोल्ड मी दैट इंडिया डज नॉट हैज ए मेडल हियर, नोबेल मेडल, बिकॉज द only medal was with Rabindranath Tagore, and Rabindranath Tagore's medal was stolen. So when President was the foreign minister many years ago, he told me that he has somehow arranged a replica and kept it in Shanti Niketan. But the replica itself was taken by the great grandnephew of Rabindranath Tagore ji, Jairam ji की वो भी नहीं है। तो मैंने कहा असली मेडल रख लो अब। So that is lying in the president's museum. और मेरे रिश्तेदारों ने कह दिया कि यार कम से कम हाथ तो लगाने ले देते थे। अब मैंने कहा मैं ही हाथ नहीं लगा सकता, उसमें वो ऐसे संभाल के रखा गया है, सो हाउ। तो इसमें कोई बड़प्पन की बात नहीं, कतई नहीं। ये सिर्फ एक सोच की बात है कि आप क्या हैं, ये पहचान की बात है। किसी मेडल से कोई बड़ा नहीं होता है। अपनी मिट्टी की जो समस्याएं हैं उनको अपनी मिट्टी की सुगंध से सुलझाने से आदमी बड़ा होता है। और मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, लोग कहते हैं कैलाश जी आज भी आप वहीं रह रहे हो अपने डीडीए फ्लैट में, 1.5 कमरे के मकान में। हाँ, हमने कहा क्या हुआ। लोग कहते हैं आज भी आप वैसे ही, सब जैसे चल रहा है वैसे ही चल रहा है। हमने कहा हाँ क्या हुआ। अरे दुनिया में तो नोबेल पीस प्राइज़ वाले बड़े उनका वो है। तो मैं एक दिन बोला एक इम्पॉर्टेंट लोगों के ग्रुप में कि वतन की रेत मुझे एड़ियाँ रगड़ने दे, वतन की रेत मुझे एड़ियाँ रगड़ने दे, मुझे यकीन है कि पानी यहीं से निकलेगा। लेकिन मित्रों, वी आर डूइंग मच बेटर देन बिफोर, डेफिनेटली। एवरी ईयर ग्रेजुअली वी आर प्रोग्रेसिंग इन मैनी डायरेक्शंस. India, as we know, emerging as one of the leading economies in the world. We have done much better in the industry, not because of political leadership, but also because of India's corporate leadership. The image of India has been changed during, say, 10, 15 years. And when I used to travel in foreign countries, in Europe and America, I have been traveling for the last 35 years, 30 years or so, I could see the change in India's image. And that image has been changed, again, not by any politician or any religious leader or any social worker or whosoever. It has been changed by the young professionals, young IT professionals, communication experts, doctors and engineers. Because it was not just in one go कि एक साल में सब कुछ बदल जाएगा या 10 साल में बदल जाएगा. Gradually, when our youngsters started living and talking to the people, because they were very genuinely committed people for their cause. They were very honest, and their values come from India. Family values, the values of compassion, the values of honesty, they carry with them, and they have brightest minds. उनकी वजह से बदला. उनको हम कैसे बढ़ावा दें? नौजवानों की वजह से देश की छवि बदली जो दुनिया में जाके रहते हैं. So things are changing. But in spite of that, much more bigger challenges are ahead. 40% of India's children have not enough to eat. they are facing one or other kind of malnutrition. Every third child is not having enough to eat. We are talking of child rights. We don't know how many, but according to government, almost 45 lakhs or so, or 43 lakhs children are victims of various forms of child labor. According to non-governmental statistics, the number is much higher, maybe 10 times more, 5 crores or so. This is the state of children. A large number of our children in primary classes are not able to read and write. The children who have completed 5th grade, they are not good enough to do small sums and cannot read and write alphabets. The quality of education, of course. The enrollment rate has gone up. The retention rate has also gone up. But when it comes to quality and inclusion in education, when it comes to equity in education, these are vital challenges in education sector. Of course, in India, but globally. I have been fighting for right to education for many, many years, but not just right to education, right to quality education with equity and inclusion. If a large number of children are left out, millions of children in the world, 58 million children in the world are not in school. Primary age school children, they have to be in school. It's possible. It's achievable. Some years ago, almost 20 years ago or 18 years ago, the number of out-of-school children was almost 130 million. 13 करोड़ बच्चे आज से 17-18 साल पहले स्कूल से बाहर थे और आज उनकी संख्या घट के 5.25 करोड़ रह गई है, आधे से भी कम हो गई। इसका मतलब दुनिया कर सकती है। It's possible. Because right to education or education is that fundamental right which opens the doors of all rights of human being. Without education, you cannot open the door of rest of the rights of life. Whatever rights are there, written in the Constitution or guaranteed in the law, they are not going to be fulfilled without very fundamental thing, right to education. मैं कई बार कहता हूँ कि जिस वक्त एक बेटी हमारी दुनिया के किसी कोने की एक बेटी हाथ में कलम उठाती है और पहली बार लिखना शुरू करती है तो उसकी कलम की ताकत लाखों लाख बंदूकों की ताकत को कमजोर कर देती है। जिस वक्त एक स्कूल की बिल्डिंग खड़ी होती है, स्कूल की दीवार बनती है, तो हमारे दिल दिमाग से और हमारे समाज से हजारों हजारों साल पुरानी दीवारों को ढा देने की ताकत स्कूल की दीवार रखती है। लेकिन एक बड़ी समस्या हमारे देश में अभी भी बहुत सारी समस्याओं में, जैसा मैंने कहा, बाल मजदूरी की समस्या है जिस पर मैं काम करता हूँ। बहुत लोग कहते थे, कैलाश जी आपके इस काम से बड़ी बदनामी हो रही है। लेकिन मैं आपको बताऊं, कुछ मित्र ये समझते थे और मैं हमेशा कहता था कि मैं जब इंजीनियर था, पढ़ाता था इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में, एंड व्हेन आई गिव अप माय करियर, आई कम फ्रॉम ए वेरी मॉडेस्ट बैकग्राउंड. My father was a simple police constable when I was born. My mother was illiterate, housewife, but she was very committed that all her children will go to school. तो मेरे घर में अभी मेरे अलावा सारे लोग पीएचडी आज आ जाते यहाँ पीएचडी चैम्बर कॉमर्स में से, उनमें से कुछ लोग, मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैं आ गया पीएचडी में तो मेरी भी थोड़ी बहुत पीएचडी हो गई. सच्ची बात यह है कि जब मैं दिल्ली आया था 1981 में, सो व्हेन आई वाज पासिंग थ्रू दैट प्लेस एंड देयर वाज समथिंग रिटन पीएचडी चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स, आई थॉट दैट रेस्ट ऑफ द चैम्बर्स ऑफ कॉमर्स आर ग्रेजुएट, undergraduate, postgraduate. This is the only chamber of commerce which is PhD. तो जब मैंने अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी करके नौकरी की कॉलेज में, when I left up my career, I did specialization in transformer design engineering, and my hobby was how to save energy when you are transforming electricity from one volt to another set of volts, or the high voltage transmission, so that you can have the minimum energy loss while transmitting. I was thinking to do so. But when I gave up my career, my mother cried for many, many days because she was worried about my financial situation. All my friends thought that I am embarking upon on an issue which was a non-issue, which was a serious problem, but which was a non-issue. It was considered as the part of life. लेकिन मैं और मेरी पत्नी सुमेधा जी, she belongs to a comparatively well-off family. तो हम लोगों ने जब दिल्ली में आके ये काम शुरू किया मध्य प्रदेश छोड़कर, और एक कमरे के मकान में, मकान नहीं था वो, एक स्टोर रूम था, किसी सरकारी नौकर के घर का एक स्टोर रूम था जिसकी लंबाई चौड़ाई 6 फुट बाई 8 फुट होगी। मेरा बेटा भी 1 साल का था। तो हम लोग कई साल तक वहाँ रहे। वही हमारा ड्राइंग रूम था, वही हमारा स्लीपिंग रूम था, वही हमारा खाना का कमरा था, बनाने का कमरा था, सब कुछ वही। तो मेरे रिश्तेदार आए नहीं, मेरे इन लॉज कभी उस घर में घुसे नहीं, गुस्से के मारे। मेरे अपने विदिशा के रिश्तेदार भी नहीं आए गुस्से के मारे कि ये पागल हो गए ये लोग, इनके साथ क्या, कहाँ जाएं उस घर में, पीछे से घूमो उसके घर में, वो मकान मालकिन अलग झगड़ा कर रही है वगैरह वगैरह। लेकिन आई नेवर डेटर्ड विद ऑल दिस, नीदर माई वाइफ, because I could see that in the future, maybe 10 years time it will take, or maybe 20 years or 30 years, the issues of and the plight of these most vulnerable children cannot be ignored. Eventually it would be considered as human right. People thought of poor children with a charitable eye. That is not bad. But I started thinking and seeing the problem of these children with a human right eye, that perspective, which was very uncommon. Let me tell you that when we talk of human rights, that talk was not there in the world because United Nations Convention on the Rights of Child has been adopted by the UN General Assembly only in 1989. And I was talking in this language in 1980-81. People thought, child rights? Lekin jab UN Convention on the Rights of Child was adopted, then the whole world woke up. Oh yeah, rights, child rights. Everybody started talking of child rights. Thousands of NGOs were born, mushroomed. There were a lot of discussions, debates, seminar, conferences, blah, 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 about child rights. But child right was not in notion as rights. So my fight was against the perception, against the mindset. And I won't claim anything, लेकिन humbly मैं इतना जरूर कहना चाहता हूँ कि in many cases I could see beyond the time. I could see that one day the industry has to respond, the government has to respond, so why not we find a constructive solutions? I was not exposing any problem. I was working with the industry, I was working with the government and trying to help them out that let us look for better solutions. We have seen that there was a big call for boycott of many things from India. I said boycott is no answer. We have to look for constructive solutions, like carpet industry. One of the biggest things which was raised in US as well as in Europe was the boycott call. Now, for instance, what happened in Bangladesh after this Rana Plaza incident, there were big noise that let us boycott Rana Plaza, let us boycott the industry. We can shift the industry from this to another country if they are not going to fulfill some of the basic requirements for the workers' safety. But I, in principle, believed that let us sit together. My enemy was not the industry. My enemy was the evil of child labor, child slavery. Today or tomorrow, you will face this challenge. And why not we sit together now and see for solutions? The first social certification, voluntary labeling, and monitoring was introduced by a very ordinary person like me and my friends. When the whole world was asking that there should be complete ban on Indian carpets, I said no. The entire industry is not culprit. Maybe a few people, but why we blame the entire industry? Let us talk and discuss with some good people. So in the beginning, 12 carpet exporters, manufacturers from India joined hands with me. Then the number became 36 and then 200 or so. And we have introduced this social labeling, which was the answer to many of the questions raised by the consumers and media and the governments and other people, that why you are going to impose blanket ban on Indian or Pakistani or Nepalese carpets. We can find some way out. And the way out was that label. वो label जो लगा, रगमार्ग उसका नाम था, बाद में उसका नाम अभी आजकल गुडवीव है. Now it is taught in many universities. तब मैं ये कह रहा था उस समय कि corporate cannot keep a blind eye. The world is changing very fast. The transparency is inevitable because of the technology, because of the information and communication technology. We are not going to hide evils. Why should we hide? We should accept and solve them. Solve the solution. Solve. अगर कोई evil है तो उसका समाधान ढूंढिए.